to do our Project for Awesome today?
Yeah, and actually I came up with a great idea.
Awesome, what is it?
This is Celestia. She's an orphaned chicken from the Sudan. Her mother died in 2004, and she doesn't have any friends or family to turn to. She's completely alone in the world.
Do you want to pick a charity that's a little closer to home, maybe?
Oh, you're right. This is Lucinda. She's a chicken from New York, and she's been orphaned since 2012. She doesn't have any family or friends to turn to. She needs our help, and that's why I think for Project for Awesome we should do Charity for Chickens, or C4C.
Carrie, that's a drawing of a chicken, and it's 2010 right now.
It's a photograph.
There's not even any color, Carrie.
It's black and white photograph, because her world is black and white from tragedy.
Okay, Carrie, I know you're new to YouTube, so you don't really know what the Project for Awesome is, but it's actually a really good way to raise awareness for actual charities. Like, we do a lot of good work. You find out about a lot of real charities that need help, that matter to us, not made-up charities about drawings of chickens from the future.
Well, then, I have another idea.
Before you go, you've made some pretty poor choices in humor in the past.
So a priest, a rabbi, and stem cell research are in a bar together.
Good stuff.
So then the blind guy says to the cripple.
So, remember, Project for Awesome is serious and not a joke, okay?
Okay.
Now, what's your idea?
Alternatives to Violence on the Palouse is a small local organization that works to provide safety and support for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault and their families. Services are provided free of charge and are totally confidential.
Because we live in a rural area, these kinds of services are even more important. It can be harder to escape an abusive situation because victims are much more isolated from the wider community than they are in a big city. As one battered woman in our county explained, "He didn't want me to have a car, so I wouldn't be able to leave home. I wouldn't have a choice, and he knew I wouldn't have a choice." 51% of all rural violence takes place in daylight.
One of the things that victims of violence found the most hurtful about their situation was the silence of their family and friends, which they took as tacit approval of what was going on. If you know or even suspect that someone you know is in an abusive situation, please speak out. Do not let it go unmentioned. Let them know that you are ready to listen and want to help.
And it isn't just women. 11% of all rape victims are male, and approximately 1 out of 6 boys is abused by the age of 16. ATVP offers support for male victims as well as female, because this isn't a woman's problem. It's everybody's problem.
ATVP has a 24-hour crisis hotline and provides support groups, medical and legal advocacy groups, an emergency shelter, and is extremely active in the community with education and prevention. Although it's a local organization, we can almost guarantee that there's something similar in your community. If you can't donate money, you can always donate time. Please, these groups are so important, and by helping out, you're letting victims know that they are not alone, they are not helpless, and they can make a change.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for participating in the Project for Awesome. DFTBA. Carrie, you were so good. You didn't make a single bad joke.
I know, and the entire time I was just bursting with Twilight references.
It does fit surprisingly well.